Hello, Buddy here. I am a health and wellness educator and a functional medicine practitioner. And in my job, in my role, I get the opportunity to speak with a lot of different people. I'm also on the health committee for a few different local school districts. And one of the things that is coming up time and time again in regards to difficulties created by the quarantines, the COVID related mitigation strategies, and all of that stuff is working from home and adapting to that home work environment. And this applies to both the teachers and faculty and staff. We see this in other professions as well. For the first time, for a lot of people, for the first time in their lives, they're working at home versus going to an office every day. And sounds like a lot of fun at first and sounds pretty cool, but I think what a lot of people realize is that it's not easy, and especially when we are in month 2, month 4, month 6 and beyond, it starts to become more and more difficult because we start to blur the lines between our personal time and our work time. And I mean, it can go a couple different directions. And but anyway, I thought I'd send this video and share my thoughts on it because I'm self-employed. Part of my job is working virtually with a lot of people, and I work from home 2 or 3 days out of the week every week, and I've been doing this for a year or two now. And I work with a lot of other practitioners that work virtually and work from home. So a topic amongst us all in terms of getting help for ourselves and working with, I know I work with a business and personal development coach. I have a business mentor, and this comes up quite a bit because people are going from working in a health clinic or working in a hospital clinic, and now all of a sudden we're working on our own, we're working at home. So anyway, I thought I'd share a few different things about this topic, and by no means is it exhaustive or will we go into great depths, but hopefully it will help some of you acknowledge, or at least maybe you'll identify some things in yourself, and then it could be a springboard towards finding more information about this topic, and maybe start a discussion amongst one another. So especially for faculty and staff of schools, that perhaps it'll bring some things up, and then you guys can get together and say, yeah, I'm struggling too, because that's not always something that we share. We figure, okay, everyone else is doing fine, it's just me. Maybe there's something wrong with me, or whatever the case may be. We feel embarrassed about it or self-conscious about it, but no, everyone's struggling. And even the people that look like they have their stuff together, they're struggling. And we know, again, if speaking to teachers and faculty, the students are struggling as well. And this is a topic that we need to address. I think we should bring it up. But first, we need to work on ourselves if we're going to be addressing it with others, and if we're going to be effective at helping others. And by no means am I an expert, and I still struggle with myself. But yeah, let's talk about it, and we'll see where it goes. So, one thing is separating work from personal, and that's difficult because you're getting up, you're in your home, that's where you live, it's your personal life, but then you're also doing work from home, and it could be tough, it could be difficult. So this could go either way. It could be you can't get work done because you can't get into that work routine and that work mindset, so you find yourself really struggling to be productive when you need to be productive. Or it can go completely the opposite way, and you're working all hours of the night. And as someone who, even when I was in my chiropractic clinic, as part of my work, I started initially living above the clinic, so I always felt like I was at work. So that was very difficult. So there had to be some sort of separation there. So you may be finding that as well. But that's one issue: is how do you get into the work mindset, and then how do you turn it off or shut it off at night? Because otherwise you're going to burn out. You're going to feel like you're at work all the time, and you're going to burn out, and you're not going to be effective when you're there. Well, a few strategies. One is get up, get a shower, get dressed, just like you were going to get in the car and drive to work. So don't work in your PJs. I know working on Zoom on video, you could probably wear your pajama bottoms as long as your top of your shirt looks proper. But I would say get into the routine of getting that shower, getting dressed, getting your work clothes. And then likewise, at the end of the day, so if you would normally leave school at 3:30 or 4 o'clock, or leave the office at 3:30 or 4 o'clock, get changed again. Get into your play clothes or get into your personal clothes, because maybe you do that anyway. You come home from work, you get out of the shirt and tie, and you put something more comfortable on. So I would say do the same, and then shut off for the rest of the day, especially if that's what you normally would do. Don't go back to the computer. Don't sit there. Don't have dinner and then go back and then do more work. And part of that is, so that's strategy number one: dress the part and get into that routine and stick with that routine. Part two of this is blocking your time. So you're going to have time where you need to be in meetings. You're going to have classes, so those times are kind of already set. You have class from 9 to 10. You're going to teach that. You got to be there. If you have a staff meeting from 11 to 12, you got to be there. But now around that, now that's where the freedom is, and that's kind of the double-edged sword of having that freedom is you have the freedom to do good stuff and be productive and get your work done, or you have the freedom to slack off, or even if it's not slack off, get distracted, do other things around the house. So here's where blocking our time is important. So schedule what you're going to do for that time and have some sort of plan going into it. So this could be a weekly plan. So if there are certain activities you do all the time, block those times for that activity. So even though you have nothing in the books, no obligations from 10 to 11 on Tuesdays, make your own obligation in there. Set your own obligations in there. Or two, start your day setting up that plan. So I have a horrible habit of doing this. You get up, you hit Facebook, see what happened on the news last night, what people are saying about it, what world event happened, what usually unimportant event happened that people are having various opinions on. Or you look at the news and you're reading about the news. Instead of wasting time on that, especially if it's time to start your workday, instead of wasting time on that stuff, set up a plan for the day. You can write it out on paper, you can write it out in a journal. What I'll do is I'll use Google Calendars, and I'll just make myself, like you would set up an appointment in Google Calendars, I set an appointment for that particular task or that particular topic. So I block those times to get that done. Sometimes I'll throw 3 or 4 things in the same hour and set them up side by side in Google Calendar. And then as I do one, I delete it, on to the next one, delete it. And it's almost gratifying to kind of check each thing off your list and delete it from your schedule. But the trick is, the strategy is to block that time in addition to setting that start and stop time for the workday more strictly. And I think you'll be more productive overall. I know that I am. If I feel like, okay, I have 12 hours to get stuff done, I'm going to work a few hours here and there. I'll kind of get some stuff done. Some stuff might wait till the end of the day, and then I don't feel motivated enough to do it, or I just run out of time and it gets to be after dinner, the family's home, you get distracted there and you never get it done. If you know you have only so many hours to get stuff done, you block that time. So say you only have that hour to get these 3 tasks done, you're going to be more productive during that time. So set yourself deadlines is in a sense of what you're doing, including the deadline for the end of the day. And then if you need help beyond there, you need help managing your time, well, then you can reach out to, depending on where you work, what type of job you're in, you might have HR, or you might have some sort of business or personal development coaching or resources within your organization. You can reach out and see if you need help there, or reach out on your own. There are there's lots of different books out there. There's one called High Performance Habits that I really like by Brendon Burchard. That's a really good one, just kind of how to structure your day and set up things. He talks about transitions and transitioning from one task to the next, making use of those periods of time when you normally might zone out and look at the news or read a newspaper or get on social media or something like that. So that's all I have for you guys today. And again, it's just the start of a conversation. It's to start to get everyone thinking. And it's an important topic because beyond the quarantines, beyond COVID-19, the world has changed. So education is going to be different. Workplaces are going to be different. And I think to a certain extent, there's always going to be, whether you're forced to work online or not, there's going to be opportunities to work online. And certainly as, again, if this is educators I'm speaking to, your students are going to get out into the workforce. And because of everything that's happened, more workplaces are going to realize we don't have to have the multi-million-dollar building located in Center City, Philadelphia, or downtown Manhattan. We can have satellite centers for maybe some group training, some board meetings, some staff meetings and stuff like that. But other than that, people could work from home. And now we have the technology. I mean, it was moving this way anyway, but it's been fast forwarded probably by a good decade or so because of the situation that we were forced into. So we need to start preparing our students for that reality. And if they're struggling because they can't get into a routine, they can't focus at home, they can't be a self-starter, they can't keep themselves accountable to get the work done when someone's not watching over their shoulder like you could if you were walking around the classroom. They can't adapt to that, then they're going to struggle in, I guess, what we call a new economy. But so again, we need to work on it ourselves, and we're never going to be perfect at it. But I think we need to start at least paying attention to it, at least being aware of it, and start talking amongst each other, and even form some sort of support groups, Facebook group. I'd be happy to facilitate that, and we could talk about strategies to help people make their time more efficient and how to deal with that kind of work personal life balance. And or there are other resources out there. HP Habits, High Performance Habits is just one that I can think of off the top of my head. Atomic Habits, James, can't remember the guy's last name, but Atomic Habits is another one. It might be a little off topic with this, but it talks about establishing habits to help you be more effective. So, all right, I hope you find this helpful, and good luck implementing things. Good luck working on this part of your life and your career, because this isn't going anywhere. We're probably going to be in this situation in some shape or form for quite a while. So, like always, we need to adapt. We need to just adapt, survive, and find ways to thrive as best we can. So, all right, thank you.